Today we're talking Oklahoma recruiting, and the Sooners, they've been heating up on the trail. They now have 15 commitments that are sitting at number 10 in the On3 industry top 10. But as always, there's more to come, and Oklahoma is trending for some elite recruits. I got Josh McCuistion from Soonerscoop.com on. We're going to break it all down. But first, remember to hit subscribe to the best recruiting channel on YouTube. Thank you. All right, let's bring on Josh McCuistion. Now, Josh, we're talking recruits trending to Oklahoma, so we got to start with the big man, Ty Haywood from Denton, Texas, number 12 overall prospect in the entire country. He's been trending to Oklahoma now for a couple weeks, but we know the in-state Texas teams aren't going to go out without a fight. How do you see Oklahoma sitting right now, and when do you think this recruitment is going to end?
He's one of those guys that's really tough to gauge because he just doesn't say a lot. And even when he talks, he doesn't give you much. So he's kind of one you have to kind of connect the dots a little bit. But this is a guy with Ty. The in-state schools are absolutely a factor. Oklahoma, yeah. I think that's the choice right now. But the school that I think you kind of have to watch out for, and again, I'm building this up like it's a surprise name, but Alabama is a school he has mentioned before is somebody he really kind of grew up liking, having kind of a fandom of. So we'll have to watch that a little bit. It's hard to gauge where he is for Alabama and kind of what their level of concentration on him is at this point. But again, I like where Oklahoma is, but like you said, this is going to be a battle all the way down. I would expect that he's probably done before the start of his senior season, but between late June and mid-August, there's a lot of volatility to when this could happen. And again, who else really gets involved and kind of seizes the moment?
No, I think Alabama is a major threat, making him a big priority, but Oklahoma is sitting in a great position. Speaking of sitting in a great position, athlete CJ Nixon, 6'5", 216 pounds. He's the number 2 player in the state of Oklahoma this cycle, top 150 overall. Is this one that you feel like Oklahoma could lock down relatively soon, or is Nixon going to be a battle?
It feels like it's kind of a what is he waiting for at this point? Yeah. Like that's honestly what it feels like with CJ Nixon, because there's no real indication of any other school making a run at him. He's not starting to he took a visit here a couple weeks ago, or he did this. Like, it just feels like Oklahoma is where he's most comfortable. They've pushed for him really hard. They've made him a priority since early on. I don't think there's another guy in this class that I would be more surprised if he wasn't part of this class.
Safety Omarion Robinson from Little Rock, Arkansas, has been trending to Oklahoma. Is he a priority right now for the Sooners on defense?
Absolutely. This is a guy that Oklahoma identified pretty early as a guy they really liked. Now, with the commitment of Marcus Wimberly and obviously the ongoing pursuit of Jonah Williams, I think some have kind of wondered, is Oklahoma going to make that work? My understanding is if Oklahoma needs to take 3 safeties, they'll take 3 safeties. Right. They like Omarion Robinson a lot. And you have to be careful, obviously, with the baseball and everything else going on with Jonah Williams. Even if you can land him, you're not sure he's going to ever step foot on campus. So I think they absolutely would take Omarion Robinson. And I think this is a guy they like a lot, and kind of, we see it all the time, Josh, where maybe a staff or a program values a player more highly than, kind of the national consensus.
Yeah, for sure. We started this list with a big man in the offensive trenches. Let's end this list with a big man in the offensive trenches. And I'm talking Darius Aflava. He goes 6'5", 280, and he's out of Utah. What's going on with this recruitment? Who do you think is the biggest competition facing Oklahoma right now?
Well, you kind of look at it. I mean, you wonder about LSU and some of these other, the name programs that we know. But at the same time, one of the toughest things for Oklahoma is battling sometimes like Utah and some of these, obviously the more regional school, just because of all the connection, all of the I guess you would say in Oklahoma's case, kind of the lack of poly background where, a lot of these guys tend to end up together. We know how that works. Oklahoma just doesn't have that right now. So I think that's going to be one of the interesting things to kind of follow. But just speaking to him, he loved his unofficial visit, came in for the spring game, talked how much he wants a coach that really wants to drive him and push him and work him. We know that's what Bill Bedenbaugh's entire methodology is. But at the same time, he talked about his family really loving kind of the family atmosphere and the soul program that Oklahoma's so proud of. So I just really like kind of the marriage of what he's looking for and what the people around him want for him. I think Oklahoma's a really good fit for him.
All right, so last week, Oklahoma picks up Tristan Haynes. That commitment puts them into the 10 spot inside the top 10, but you can feel the momentum building here. So who do you think could be the next to commit to Oklahoma?
Well, I don't think Oklahoma fans are going to have to wait a long time. In-state offensive lineman Antoni Cade Ogoro, and I never get his name fully right, so I apologize in advance. I'm sure I said something wrong there, but this is a guy moved in, just literally going through his first semester in the state of Oklahoma. So this isn't a long time, Oklahoma kid that grew up playing at OU or anything along those lines. His family's actually from Saipan. He'll go back there in the summer. So there is not the homegrown advantage that Oklahoma has. But I do think they've done a really good job recruiting him, his family, and just, like I said, I think they know that it could be just a really good fit. Now he's going to visit Missouri this weekend. We know Missouri's done a really good job beating OU on a couple of big battles. So that's something you got to watch. But again, I really like where Oklahoma is, and he's set to announce on May 21st.
All right, Oklahoma fans, let me know, comment section below. Who do you guys want as your big commitment? Who's next? Who's big? Let me know, comment section below. Well, you've made it to the end of today's video, but there's hundreds more videos on the On3 Recruits channel for you to check out. And also, while you're here, hit subscribe.